All my life I've wanted to visit Coober Pedy, known for being so hot and dusty that people dig underground to build their homes. Never did I imagine that I'd be here in the middle of winter where it's freezing cold and pouring rain. We spent 2 days driving from Adelaide to Coober Pedy and had sunny blue skies all the way, but we knew the forecast wasn't good. Well, here we are at the top of the hill by the big winch. And there's the big winch up behind us, and we can look out over the whole town of Coober Pedy here. It's actually really cool. It looks like a dump, and it kind of is, but it's a really quirky dump. And the area just down here where you can see all these caravan parks is actually a free camp, so I dare say we'll be parking up there at least one night.
Okay, so all forecasts that I've seen predict rain commencing tomorrow night.
Knowing that the road out to the breakaways is a dirt road and would probably close if it got too wet, we wanted to head straight out here. We also wanted to catch the sunset on a good day. We've come down this afternoon to the Kanku or Breakaways Conservation Area, and this is just not even half an hour out of Coober Pedy. These incredible rock formations. So we're going to take a drive through and then we're going to come back to this spot for the sunset. So this area here behind me is known as the Moon Plains. Pretty easy to see why. It's just like this nothingness. It's so beautiful out here though, it's absolutely incredible. After checking out the Moon Plains, we made our way back over to the sunset spot.
Man, we're at the breakaways. We've been here for the best part of an hour now, and as the colours get better and better and the people come and go, we're sticking around. We've poured a wine, but in the meantime we're just soaking in this amazing, unique countryside. Just check out the views.
I can't believe everybody's leaving right now, and this is like, it's only just starting to get good.
Exactly.
Just leaving the breakaways, the sun's just set, well, it set about an hour ago. It's just looking spectacular. Making our way back out the red dirt road and heading off to find our free camp for the night. Good morning, friends. So this is where we stayed, in the little gravel pit last night. As you can see, we're right next to the road. We did have a big plan that we were going to do this big outback drive, but tomorrow, or later today and tomorrow, there's some very heavy rain forecast. The rain came sooner than we expected, and almost every dirt road in the state was closed for days. We headed back to town. While we waited, we had the chance to visit almost every attraction in Coober Pedy, and we really fell in love with this weird, quirky town. On the way back to town, we visited Crocodile Harry's home. We've come to Crocodile Harry's crocodile nest. Now, Crocodile Harry, Nigel was just telling me he was the inspiration for Crocodile Dundee.
Apparently.
I did not know that. He was a Latvian who came to the north of Australia and hunted crocodiles before coming to Coober Pedy to seek his fortune in opals. And his home here is something of a quirky museum, and you know how we love quirky.
For anyone who's watched the Mad Max movies, Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, a lot of the scenes were filmed here. Let's go check it out. It's got a bit of Mad Max to it, eh?
Crocodile Harry came to Australia to hunt crocodiles and caught between 10,000 and 40,000, depending on who you believe. When he came to Coober Pedy in 1975, aged 50, his attention turned to women, and his home is decorated with mementos of his conquests, that is, women's underwear. Harry died in 2006 and is buried in the local cemetery, which we visit later this week. We thought that his home is like a microcosm of the weirdness that is Coober Pedy. We settled in at the free camp at the Old Timers Mine to wait out the weather. We're in the Old Time Opal Mine Museum now.
Hiding from the rain.
And we've just found our first bits of opal. Look at that, massive. I'll put my hand there. So you can see it's quite large. Well, we're about to walk into the mine proper. And this mine dates back to 1916. It was the first mine dug here. This museum gives visitors the opportunity to see what life would have been like for the first opal miners in the area. What is this number 9? A cavern. A miner has crawled in here to gouge out opal. Oh my God, this gives me major anxiety. Oh, you would only just fit in there. That's horrifying. Yeah, so it's worth noting that Nigel and I cannot stand in here.
I'm not a tall person.
No, we're like doubled over. Not terrifically comfortable. Nigel. This is Minnie, the first female miner. Yeah, they've put it.
Blocked that off for good reason.
But you can see old mate up there.
He's old, mate.
We not only learned how miners worked, but also how they lived here in Coober Pedy. The original miners' dugout house has been restored to how it would have looked in the 1950s. This is what we came to see and we loved it. Even today, around half the population live in underground houses. I mean, why wouldn't you when the temperature is a constant 22 to 24 degrees inside? Wow, check that shower wall out.
Old mate sleeping and safe beneath the bed. Okay, so that's pretty much brought our self-guided tour to an end, and it's just been fascinating. Morning guys, here we are still in Coober Pedy. It's been raining all throughout the night. We're going to be hunkered down here throughout the day. But let me take you up to the toilet, kind of a unique toilet that's dug into the side of the hill here. Let's take you inside. There's the limestone, so it's like a cave toilet, if you will. I'm just fascinated by these old machines. They've got something to do with the mining of opal. I'm yet to find out what it is. Here's the camp again. We made the wise decision to move up out of this mud bath up onto the high ground here. So
we then headed into town to do some van life errands like filling our water tank and emptying our toilet. So I've just been into the council offices and tourist information to pay for the water. I just wanted to give you an idea of what it's really like here. I mean, look at this. This is just in the car park. Someone's turned around. Better go over there, help Nige. We've got water here, so it's $1 per 30 litres. And dump point here. We'll use both today. Van life sucks when you have to empty the toilet in the rain.
a little prezzy for you.
Thank you. These trucks that we kept seeing all around town are known as blowers, and a blower is the most distinctive feature of the Coober Pedy landscape. It's a giant vacuum cleaner that sucks dirt up from 30 metres underground and dumps it onto the surface. There are between 60 and 130 blowers at any given time in the Coober Pedy opal fields.
So get this, a fella by the name of Murray Joint, a fitter and turner from New Zealand, designed and built a blower with a hopper attached in 1970. How's this for a bit of awesome blast from the past Coober Pedy machinery?
So here they've got a blower, a drill, a boat, and the opal bug. One thing we're noticing is a lot of shops closed down. Nick in the museum last night was telling us that the population has gone down from 6,000 to only 1,800 in the last few years. So they're just not finding the same amount of opal here. It's like the Millennium Falcon. It's actually a set from the film Pitch Black starring Vin Diesel. Here in Coober Pedy, everything is underground, even the church. This is the Catholic church. There are 3 churches in town. Stained glass. So we're really excited because it's finally, the rain has stopped and it's sunny today. And we're going to go for a walk today and check out some more of the sites around town. Yeah, we're going to get our shoes will be covered in mud, but maybe we'll find a puddle we can wash them off in. We're going to the Catacomb Church. These humps and hills behind us here is the public noodling area. Now, I don't know where the name noodling comes from, but basically this is a spot where you can just dig around for opals. Where does it come from, Nigel?
Well, it comes from, it's a bit of a derogatory term, because the real miners basically suggested that to fish for opal on the surface, or in the piles and whatnot, you're like a wet noodle, and then it was sort of abbreviated to noodling. Yeah, I read that somewhere else in the town.
I did not know that. Thank you for
come on, you wet noodle.
enlightening the Vlog squad.
I feel like a wet noodle because I really can't be stuffed. I'm a bit lazy, so I would totally be a noodle.
We're going to
Nigel the noodle. Noodle.
Come on, noodle. Let's go.
Whip me with your stick.
Find me an opal. Right, this is where I'm going to find my opal. Nigel's going over there. Okay friends, my hole didn't get very deep and I've given up. Nigel, you're giving me a hard time for going all of 20 paces.
Yeah.
Let's not forget old mate
What?
that found the $3 million of opal in his bedroom wall when he decided to excavate and make his bedroom a bit bigger.
Yeah, he did it a lazy way too, didn't he, I suppose?
Yeah, he'd been sleeping next to it for years.
Yeah.
Just came across this beautiful bed of Sturt desert peas. Pretty sure this is the state floral emblem for South Australia. This is an old dugout there, someone's home for many years. All these Sturt desert peas. Sadly, all the roads are still completely red, which means they're closed. We set out walking for another day of exploring this quirky town. There's even a UFO that landed here at Coober Pedy. So we don't know who planted this, but there's actually an olive grove here in the middle of Coober Pedy.
Good looking olives.
With olives.
Yeah.
Look at them all on the tree. Are they olives?
Yeah. Totally olives.
Why are they all white inside?
Bit sour.
Are they nasty?
Yeah, but how do you actually harvest them? What do you...
Well, I think
What do you do
normally
with
they're... I don't know too much about olives. We have to learn that when we get to Italy. Today we have come to Tom's working opal mine. We wanted to actually see a little bit more about what the mine is like while it's working in action. We really want to see one of these blower trucks doing its thing, and I can count 1, 2, 3 of them right from where I'm standing. The entrance is just down this ramp. Here we are in our sexy looking helmets. We've got our black light torches. Let's go find some opals.
Yeah, you can go over. There's a couple of shows here as well. In here.
The best thing about the tour was the guide Mila. She's a Czech lady who came to mine opals in Coober Pedy about 50 years ago. She is an absolute character and had us laughing the whole way.
How many kids we got? One after another. Lots of sugar. There. Put your feet off.
Put your feet down here.
Yeah. To back, obviously, you do not overstep the border, right? And then you can prospect. And if you think you're going to stay there, you can register your client.
So we're going deeper again here. Yeah. What have you found there? Anything there, Susie? Pretty good. Seam.
That's a tunneling machine here. You can see the pipe at the bottom. You can see the machine here. That's
Mila demonstrated how to use the vacuum cleaner, and then Nigel got to have a go.
Oh, never been here.
She then explained how they used to buy their nitro in the supermarket to make their explosives. Can't do that anymore.
2 inches above.
And what's really cool about this mine tour, a cup of tea and scones with jam and cream if you're Nigel.
What a great way to finish the tour. Yeah.
And as we were leaving, we finally got to see the blowers in action. This will give you an idea. Here's the roofs of some of these underground houses. And you can see their TV aerials and all sorts of things.
Kitchen vents.
Yeah.
Fireplace vents, probably.
Yeah. Crazy, hey?
Okay.
We're just walking up the hill now to the big winch to meet a couple of friends for a quick beer. So here we are at the big winch, just having a few quiets. We've actually met up with Pete and Hayley, a couple of viewers. Oh look, there's Nigel.
Oh, there's me.
Yeah, so we just had a couple of quiet drinks here. So nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Great. Friends, if you ever do see us out on the road, please stop us and say hi, because we really love catching up with you and swapping travel stories, having a good chat and a laugh.
Yeah.
And a laugh.
You bet.
It's great.
Thanks, you guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for meeting, guys.
Cheers.
Happy. Afternoon, guys. So we've had enough of pottering and computering.
Working.
So we need to stretch the legs, and we're going to head towards the Serbian church. Another one of the highlights in Coober Pedy that we wanted to check out, and a really good walk. It's a bit of a grey day, but
Still waiting for those roads to open.
Exactly, so it's certainly given us time to have a good look around.
The walk to the church was certainly interesting, and we got a little bit geographically embarrassed a couple of times. Can you see the road here?
So the road's actually underneath that rubble, and then we're joining up with it here.
Eventually we found the church, and it was well worth it.
Oh, there's a beautiful stained glass window.
I've got to say, Nigel, I reckon that Serbian Orthodox church was one of the best things we've seen here.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Beautiful stained glass windows.
And it's a really cool walk out here.
So another walk, another excursion, this time to the dead centre of town. How about this one? A beer keg.
Have a drink on me.
Oh, how about this one? Carl Bratz.
The Boot Hill Cemetery has some very interesting and quirky graves, and is definitely worth visiting.
And here he is, Crocodile Harry. Coober Pedy keeps providing and kookiness and perhaps bordering on creepy. A whole bunch of dolls on the fence and shoes. This is like kind of weird.
Now it's where to come if you're missing a shoe.
Yeah, well, it's finally happened.
Not happy.
Well, you called for a shower.
I'm in the shower and the gas ran out.
Oh dear.
So how's this guy? He goes out and changes the gas so he can have hot water for his shower. I'm tucked up in bed. And he forgot to turn the gas back on.
So he's going out in his red grundies and flip-flops.
And it's about like 5 degrees.
G'day friends, the sun's out, that's the good news. The bad news is we're still confronted with another day here in Coober Pedy. Run out of things to do here. We've pretty much ticked off every possible box. Time now to set up the bikes. I'm going to go for a bike up to the breakaways today. It's good to get out on the bikes again. It's been a while.
So we've come out to the sign and this is what we're seeing. We need it to change from 4WD to 4WD-HV. So Coober Pedy to Oodnadatta, that's the one at the top there. We want that to change.
Well, we've been going 15 kilometres now. We've finally got to this turn off and we've still got 20 k's to get to the breakaways. Oh, the road's closed. Yeah, the road's closed to vehicles. Open to bikes, we figure. A bit naughty, but it's no good. We'll turn back. We want to go along the section of road where the rabbit fence is right up against the road. It's getting pretty cut up in places too. That's what happens when you miss the ruts. Vehicles have just cut this up to bits. That's why the road's closed. Okay, that was a bad idea. Crap. I feel like getting all that shit off.
Look at the state of Nigel's bike. Imagine if you went through that in the car.
Look at that, would you? That's just insane. The backsides are getting rather sore and we're getting a bit thirsty. So all I can think about is a nice beer and a bag of chips. Yeah, probably guilty of another binge right there. My fault.
I don't like it. And for our final night in Coober Pedy, we had the perfect sunset. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode when the roads open and we head for Oodnadatta. We face some of the most challenging driving we've ever done. Will we make it or have to get rescued? Find out next week. Thanks for watching and see you next time.